Being in the audience is just as terrifying as being in the show. Because you don't know what's coming at you, and it could be sticky.
An unheard of amount of cheese.
Every cheese we could.
Yeah.
We just bought extra cheese.
Yeah, I was like, a Costco amount of blue cheese? Absolutely, why wouldn't we want that? Let's put it in our fridge.
When you fought Axis to Villain turned into mimes for my birthday.
I want to get right up front because I want to be like personally victimized.
Get adults to be playful and weird and like dress up and be strange.
I don't know, but we made it. And you should come because it's fun. And they're like, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to
GoGo Battles is my most favorite event in Calgary. I tell everyone about it. It's the most chaotic, original, hilarious event, and I haven't stopped smiling since we started. It's so much fun, and all of the people in the show are amazing and talented, and I can't get enough. I love it.
Being in the audience is just as terrifying as being in the show. Because you don't know what's coming at you, and it could be sticky, just saying. And so like being in the audience, it's very interactive. Like you're encouraged to really get into like supporting the characters that you're following, or you know, dissing the characters that you hate. You know, I think Karen wins the prize for being like the most hated heel on GoGo Battles, and she loves every minute of it. Being in the audience, like you get to be a part of the show just as much, because especially if you're sitting in the like in the inner ring, there is a good chance you will be involved in one way or another. So it's interactive, it's completely like immersive. And like when I see regulars come back, they're like, oh my God, I can't wait. Like I want to get right up front because I want to be like personally victimized.
I was invited by my buddy Andrew to check out this thing called GoGo Battles. It was pretty weird, pretty wild, kind of burlesque wrestling. It wasn't what it is currently now, but yeah, it was really fun. And then I kept going to it. I enjoyed it, and so I started bringing my friends around. And yeah, we loved it. Thought it was a great show.
I got into GoGo Battles, I think partially, like Spencer introduced me, but also just the joy of, I grew up watching hockey as a kid in Lethbridge, and I've been a theater maker for all of my life. And so I feel like this mashup between sport and theater, and like intertwining the political with playful political, I think is really, really fun. And I always love the burlesque stuff in between too. So yeah, I got really excited about it right away. It was an easy sell. I just remember being like so excited about the like raw and readiness of it, how close we were to the wrestlers. Oh, I also grew up watching Stampede Wrestling, followed by WWF. My friend's grandma would invite us over and we'd drink Tahiti Treat and watch it. And it was like this very cool thing when I was a kid. So I felt like it was nostalgia, but then it was this whole other layer because of the femme, queer, kind of like political part of it and the story development.
I've always been a huge wrestling fan. And I have like a core group of friends that we'd watch wrestling together. Like we were around for the Mankind, Undertaker, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan. Like we were big wrestling fans. We're from small town Red Deer. And there was one time I brought one of my buddies, one of my like old wrestling buddies, up to watch GoGo Battles. It was a Halloween special, and he loved it. He was blown away. He's like, not just by the wrestling, but by the stories that they're telling. Like he was like, oh, there's a double heel reversal. That's so rad, you know? And it's something like that is really special about wrestling. Those stories mean something to people. They're stories that connect with people. And I think that's what GoGo Battles is doing too. They're telling stories that connect with people. Primal stories, stories of right and wrong, good and evil. they just switch them on their head and add ridiculous costumes to them. Heel reversals is always really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of the characters, story-wise, are so problematic, like the ghost of Nancy Reagan. You want to be cheering for someone, but then there's a reversal. They play a dirty trick, and you like as a viewer, you're like, it is kind of confusing on who you're cheering for and why. Like, are you cheering for them politically? Are you cheering for them because they're a great wrestler and have a good personality? Are you cheering for them because they're the bad guy? What are you cheering for and why? And I find that during the matches, these like reversals happen, and they force me to be like, hold on, am I now cheering for Skank the Tank? I thought I wasn't
Skank the Tank! Sorry.
I thought I wasn't
I
cheering
like
for
Skank the Tank quite a bit as well. Yeah.
There's an in for people who are sports fans, for sure, or people who like that kind of experience of being like live at a sporting event. And then I feel like there's people that are going to be drawn to it for the like feminist, queer content. I think there's people that are drawn to it because of the political content. I think there's people that are drawn to it because of the theatrical nature of it, the costumes, the staging, all of that stuff, the story. I think there's also, like for me, myself, what I love about sporting events is the call and response stuff, and that we kind of get adults to be playful and weird and like dress up and be strange. And so I love like when you come to Dickens, you're invited to write your poster for your favorite fighter.
Like cheer and be in that call and response place. You can do ringside seats if you want to be super involved. You can sit a little bit further back if you're a little bit more conservative about your desire for sort of participatory theater. And then I would even say the politic and like the characters. So there's like a big range of points of reference age-wise for people, culturally for people. It feels like people came together and created something together. And there's something that just feels really satisfying about that.
I think for meaningful moments when it comes to GoGo Battles, I think it's like the cast pictures at the end, where we're all together and you just see the crowd just like roaring for you, because it's such a united, like there's no way to do this as like a singular project. It is such a collaborative space, and it is something that you can't do without everybody else, without people setting up the story or continuing the story, or putting those little interpersonal, like when you're in character for the night, so you want to be there, and if you have like a enemy, even if you're not performing, like you still want to throw some like viciousness at them, just to keep that energy like immersive all the way through.
I would say GoGo Battles is very supportive and collaborative. Absolutely. It's collaborative's the perfect word for it, because when you're planning out a fight and when you're rehearsing a fight and all that kind of stuff, we just really work really well together, I find, as a group.
I started my professional performance career in Vancouver, and maybe it was because of my age and experience at the time, but I certainly feel that I would not have the career or the life in the arts that I do now if I had stayed out there. I feel there is so much space in Calgary for people to create. If you want it, you can create it, it can happen. And GoGo Battles is so true to that. We thought about it, we've adapted it and let it be what it is and change in its ways, and we've tried to guide it, but it's become its own animal, and I think that's why it's so successful, is we let the landscape of Calgary audiences kind of push it.
Calgary still has that prairie joiner mentality of like, we don't always have the thing here because this is a much newer city. So if you want to come and make something, then I want to see that here, I'm going to support it.
We just kind of build each other up here. And GoGo Battles specifically, burlesque community is involved, obviously, drag community is involved, but me personally, I'm as a former theater kid, I love that there are theater people involved, and there are improvisers, there are stand-up comedians, there are singers, there's all kinds of talent involved in GoGo Battles, and everybody comes with their unique strengths.
Like you see a lot of audience members who end up like, I'll tag in somehow, starting as a ringer or like working some part of it just so that they can be more involved and start creating their own characters.
It's wild to look around at these shows that like people give so much. They just give so much of themselves, their time, their energy, their money, and they come out of it and their faces are shiny and they're delighted, and there's like this community aspect to it that like I think that's part of our planning as well. Is like, yeah, we look at things and we're like, how can we take this and twist it? How can we do a commentary on whatever? Like we did the Dental Dam of the Month Club because we wanted to talk about contraception, and we wanted to talk about healthcare while the Roe v. Wade was being discussed in the United States. So that's like where that came from. But then we also look at things like, okay, but how do we involve somebody who's been part of this process or has always wanted to be part of it? Or like, how do we celebrate somebody in the community who's very committed to this, who's excited by this, it would make them feel special? We're performers, we're on stage a lot. It's amazing, it feels great. And GoGo Battles is kind of this like special little world where we're able to invite more people in, and the stakes are pretty low. Around GoGo Battles, different communities have popped up, and one of the unexpected places people have entered is on GoGo Battles lore. So we have this wonderful person who, through another show, they found this show and started coming and became obsessed with it. They're our super fan. We call them Soups, the Scoop by Soups.
Scoops with soups.
Scoops with Soups.
One of my friends that did GoGo showed up in a show that Kayla was running every single week at this other place. And I'm like, oh, hey, I should hang out there. And so I did. And then I met Kayla there. And that was before GoGo Battles kind of had before it was really a concept. And then, so that went on for a few weeks, and then they launched GoGo Battles. And I'm like, oh, hey, this is pretty, this is something like, I have friends that do GoGo from earlier. I know about this. This seems like something I want to get involved in. And then I'd also, from the local Burning Man community, I knew Pitt way before she was Pitt, and she did a lot of work on the earlier versions of the show. So that's kind of how that all happened. And then I was a big fan of the show for a while and a big community member for a while. And then about a year after the show started, Carla approached me with a job offer. So that's how that all happened.
So after every GoGo Battles, they would find one of us or both of us and then tell us why all of the choices we made in this fight absolutely made sense and connected to this fight. And sometimes when he didn't know, he couldn't make a logical connection there, he'd be like, I'm gonna figure out why you did that. Like any of our storytelling made sense to us, and we were like, absolutely. We were learning things about ourselves that we didn't know we had like put breadcrumbs out for. So at that point we were like, let's give this person like an official title, because they are such a super fan, they're so delightful, they love the show so much, and like that gave us so much energy that we're like, okay, we're gonna give you a special place in the program. So that started with
They became our intern.
Yeah, we're on their resume. I love that.
As a GoGo Battles intern, we're like, you know we're not paying you, right? And he's like, that's fine. He creates our like a recap show, and we pop it up online, and people can watch as a kind of a, if you missed it, here's like highlights of things you missed. It's really cute.
How we started out was I would do commentary, like I would get up and recap the show. And that, like, the idea for that segment started out, it was in the middle of COVID, right? So a lot of people weren't able to make it out to the shows whenever we had a chance to do a show. So we needed a segment like mine to keep people caught up with the story, right? Even if you can't make it out, because a lot of people weren't making it out to the shows that wanted to, and we wanted to have an avenue for them, and that's kind of how that started. And then it was going that way for a while, and what I do now after the promotion is I work on the web series. So I do exactly what I did before, but I do it into Streamlabs, and then I send it to Kayla to post on the socials during the off months, which is great because it's closer to that like original purpose, right?
Our round 2 saw the contestants thin out a touch, and we got a nice helping of, ahem, look, I'm sorry, it was very eventful. Classic campfire desserts. Baby Braxton dealing bonus poison damage. Reminders that I don't know what a pension is. And surprise robot takeovers.
GoGo Battles has become kind of associated with like a really nice community space, and like people like you. When you see someone for the first time at GoGo Battles, there's a high chance you're going to see them again. It's like people. It's the kind of show that people love to come back to, and it's just a great. It's a great thing to like, as I know, because I was very much in this position with Ivy and Maddie, and then there's a whole bunch of other people. But but it's a great thing to go out to with your friends too. It's nice. It's really nice, like where it sits in the. In like the whole Calgary ecosystem, it really provides a lot to that.
Nobody makes money at a GoGo Battle show. Nobody. That is not why we do it.
We don't ever make a cent off this show.
I get gooey feelings.
I don't care about making money off this show. That's not why I do it. I do it because of the community. I do it because of the people who dedicate their time to it, who come back, who love it. Like, we've had people get engaged at this show. We've real life get engaged at this show. We've had people change their relationship with their parents and go through the loss of parents that were fans of the show. We've celebrated birthdays together. We've celebrated hardship. We've gone through together, and it held people together during COVID.
There's a lot of like individual fights that were like really memorable to me. I think one was for my birthday. We did a fight matchup that I had specifically like tried to push to happen, and they did it for my birthday one year. So like that was super cool. And that was when you fought Axis to Ville and turned into mimes for my birthday.
What fascinated us the most and what we really enjoyed was the audience participation. And it was amazing that each time you came to GoGo Battles, it was unpredictable. You had no idea what was going to happen. It's amazing how they've grown with the characters, how they have their following from the audience, and certain characters, they love it when they're booed, and so it just gets people excited, and it's just the craziness that you have a hunger that you want to come back the next time and try to figure out what's going to happen. It's just so crazy, and try to explain it to somebody about GoGo Battles, and it's undescribable because it's so much fun, and it's a great family that's here. Every time you come, there's you just feel like a family. So I don't know.
Now, is it safe to say you and your husband are the #1 fans for?
Yeah. Bill was 91 when he passed away in March, but we've been coming for a number of years. Yes, he was their #1 fan. And they a few times put up on the screen that about him being the #1 fan. They made up T-shirts for Bill and I with GoGo Battles. And Bill's wish when he died, he was cremated. He had his GoGo Battles, was cremated with him. Carla and came on a number of occasions to his birthday and did street performances. That was amazing because the neighborhood we live in is basically seniors, and they were like amazed at it was a wonderful response from the neighbors because they weren't offended or anything. They just loved it. It was amazing.
I think one of my favorite GoGo Battles outside of the ring, outside of the show memories, is last year we did like a big end of year winter party at our place, and everyone who wanted to donate their cut of the door to the party did, and we took that money to Costco and we bought too much cheese.
So much cheese.
An unheard of amount of cheese.
Every cheese we could.
Yeah.
We just bought extra cheese.
Yeah, I was like, a Costco amount of blue cheese? Absolutely. Why wouldn't we want that? Let's put it in our fridge.
Because no one wants blue cheese.
And then people showed up, and because half the cast is like like middle-aged to older adults, and half the cast is like 20 and flailing. We have this awesome range of people, but everyone older brought like, oh, wines and stuff. Like, thanks for having me at your house. And we're like, no, take it home with you. So we were like swapping these things. People brought us.
And that was funny because that party also helped two of our friends like kind of start romantically connecting. Like there's so much people's lives that are imbued in the show, and that party was so much fun because whenever we do a season end show, there's like 25, 30 people in the cast. It's huge. So the payout is going to be really, really small. So that's why we were like, hey, instead of like, we can pay you out the $28, you know, it would be, or we can throw a really crazy Christmas party for everybody. And we did that, and it was really cute. And I think people really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I think it's important to remember that what GoGo Battles is now is not what it was before. And I mean that in terms of the production of the show, but I also mean that very much in terms of the community. The community has really evolved. There were people who were huge parts of this show who have moved on for various reasons, you know, who've gone on to do other things or moved away, like Pit Viper, Baby Rock, Conjurer. These are people who were core to the show for many, many years, and for various reasons have moved on, you know, do other things with their life or moved towns or whatever. And they play such a huge part in it, because even if the wrestlers, some of the new wrestlers today never wrestled with Pit Viper, that character still shapes what we've done, which shapes what we do and will do. And so there's a lot of faces, there's a lot of people who gifted a lot of time and energy to this community, and even though they're not maybe the most active members now, they still play a role and they're still important to remember.
If you were going to summarize GoGo Battles in like 5 words, in like 1 sentence.
No.
No?
No.
Refuse?
We get that question all the time. That is the biggest problem with GoGo Battles, is there's no way to really say what it is unless you go to it. And that's the hardest thing about the show, is you can't explain it, you have to see it. Like, I call it a satirical comedy feminist wrestling show. It's Saturday Night Live meets Glow with a very queer lens to it. And even then, people come to it, and everybody takes something else away from it, which is one of the cool things. And because there's so many writers in it, because there's so many different perspectives, so many different things that people find funny, it will never be one thing. There won't be one perspective that anyone can ever relate to another person, because it is so multifaceted. And that is also the bane of its existence. As we were like, come to GoGo Battles, and everyone says, well, what's that? And you're like, I don't know, but we made it. And you should come because it's fun. And they're like, okay. And it's this thing, is that is the hardest thing about GoGo Battles, is trying to tell people what it is.